Hi everybody, welcome back. These are the horror films that we loved of 1940. You're watching Yesteryear today. I'm Tony, and let's get started on the movies that we love, the horror movies that we love of 1940. First up, we have is the Devil Bat. A mad scientist develops an aftershave lotion that causes his gigantic bats to kill anyone who wears it. The Devil Bat, featuring Bela Lugosi, horror and sci-fi. This looks pretty good. You put on some cologne, and then bats kill you. Dr. Cyclops. This movie scared me when it came out. Adventure, drama, and horror. A mad scientist working in the South American jungle miniaturizes his colleagues when he feels his megalomania is threatened. Dr. Cyclops. I remember watching this in the 70s, and it still scared me. Next up we have is Bob Hope and the Ghost Breakers. Anything with Bob Hope is awesome. Comedy and horror. A radio broadcaster is quaking manservant and an heiress investigate the mystery of a haunted castle in Cuba. The Ghost Breakers. If it has Bob Hope, it's going to be awesome. Next up we have is The Invisible Man Returns. Drama, horror, and mystery and sci-fi. The owner of a coal mining operation, falsely imprisoned for fratricide, takes a drug to make him invisible. Despite its side effects, gradual madness. The Invisible Man Returns will not disappoint. The Invisible Woman. Comedy, romance, sci-fi, and horror. An attractive model with an ulterior motive volunteers as guinea pig for an invisibility machine. The Invisible Woman. I love this movie because it was a comedy, but it was also some kills in here. Pretty good movie. Next up we have is The Mummy's Hand. The Mummy's Hand. Adventure, fantasy, and horror. Archaeologists defile the tomb of mummified Charis, who was buried alive for falling in love with an Egyptian princess. The Mummy's Hand. Anything with a mummy has got to be good. The Mummy. Next up we have is Before I Hang. Crime, horror, and sci-fi. A physician on death row for a mercy killing is allowed to experiment on a serum using criminals' blood, but secretly test it on himself. Boris Karloff in Before I Hang is a thriller. Next up we have is Black Friday. Crime, drama, and film noir and horror. Dr. Sobek transplants the brain of a gangster into his professor friend's body to save his life. But there is a side effect that causes a dangerous split personality. Black Friday. Next up we have is Comes Midnight. Comes Midnight is about monsters that come to life at midnight. And any of those people that encounter the monsters at midnight, they will die. So who lives, who dies? It comes midnight. Next up we have is Son of Inaji Horror. A newlywed couple is visited by a strange old woman who harbors a secret about the young girl's father. Son of Inaji. This movie's pretty good. A lot of little jump scares, but it was a good movie for its time. Son of Inaji. Next we have is The Ape. Remember we had King Kong, Killer Ape, Son of Kong. Now we have The Ape Horror. Dr. Bernard is a kindly mad scientist who seeks to cure a young woman's polio. He needs spinal fluid from an ape to cure her of her spinal condition. Alright, that is The Ape. Chamber of Horrors. Drama, horror, and mystery. A murder is found to be connected to a false heir in a secret underground torture chamber. Chamber of Horrors. This movie does not disappoint. Very good for its time. Check out Chamber of Horrors. Next up we have is You'll Find Out. Comedy, crime, and horror. The manager of Case Kaiser's band books them for a birthday party bash for an heiress at a spooky mansion where sinister forces try to kill her. You'll Find Out is a great movie. Those were the horror movies of 1940. Those are the horror movies that we loved of 1940. Were there any horror movies that you saw back then or of that year that I missed? Let me know. If you've seen any of these movies that I listed for you, what do you think about those movies? See how we're totally progressing into the horror genre? And year by year, they get more interesting, some more graphic, some more mysterious, with more thrilling, so more dialogue. So those are the horror films that we loved of 1940. I'm Tony, you're watching Yesteryear today. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, leave them below. Please click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you all in the next video.